Yai dai 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 dai. Ay 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 dai 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 dai. Ya dai 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 dai. Ay 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 ay. Yai ay dai dai. Ay 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 dai 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 dai. Yai dai dai dai. Yai da 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 da, yai da 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 dum, yai da 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 da, I, yai da 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 da, yai da 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 dum, ay da da da, ay 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 ay. Ay, 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 yaday, 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 yay, yaday, 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 yaday. Yai dai dai yai, ay 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 dai dai dum, yai dai dai dai, ay dai dai dai, ay 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 ay, yai ay dai, ay 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 ay, ay 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 dai dai dai, ya dai dai dai. Yay, day, day, day. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 day, 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 day. Yada, day, day, day. Yay, da, day, day, day. Ay, ya, day, day, day. Ay, ya, day, day, day. Yay, da, day, day, day. Ay, ya, day, day, dum. Yay, da, day, day, day. Ay, 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 ay. Yay, ay, 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 ay. Yay, ay, 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 ay. Yay, ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, bye bye, yeah, yeah. Boker Tov, good morning. It is Wednesday. Here we are. Showing up. It has been a rough week. As Rabbi Jay mentioned yesterday, the funeral, memorial service, whatever you may want to call it, for Omer Maxim Nutra was yesterday. And there's a lot of weight of the world, just kind of for the Jewish people and for those that support the Jews. And it hasn't been easy, to say the least. I think that we have a long way to go. It's unbelievable that we're still here in these moments, still without answers, still without bodies, still without knowing. And so there's a lot of weight in this world. And so I thought, let me switch it around a little bit more to what we typically do on a Wednesday, understanding Parsha and taking a deeper dive into what the text says, and maybe just changing our focus just for a moment. It's not to say, as we know, we can hold multiple things at once. But when we're only holding one thing, perhaps we're missing other things that are happening in the world, or understanding deeper or with more meaning or more intention other things that we could be doing at the same time. And so we dedicate this teaching in honor and in memory of Omer, his family, his Jewish community, and the world. This week's Parsha is Vayetze. And he went out. Who's the he? Where did he go? What is it about? What do we need to learn? And so in this week's Parsha, Jacob has a dream. He has a dream about these angels going up and down a ladder that was connected from earth to heaven. And so we've all had dreams. Some of them we remember, some of them we don't, but we do dream. Some of us are dreamers, not related to sleep. And some of us can't recall one single dream they've ever had in sleep, or they don't dream about where they could be in the future in awake life. So this is not about what kind of dreamer you are, whether sleeping or awake. This is about some family deception. This is about having a dream and connecting it to your life. So Jacob flees his home to go to his uncle Lavan, or Lavan's house, to live there for several years. And he's looking for a wife. I know, incest. It's kind of strange, right? You're going to your uncle's to marry your cousin. Kind of weird. So he's on his way there. And it's a journey, because where is he going? He's going, he's got to travel by foot. And so on his way to his uncle Lavan's home, he lays down, he uses a rock for a pillow, and he dreams of this ladder stretching from earth to heaven. And there are angels of God ascending and descending this ladder. And God stands behind Jacob in this dream and says, "Hey, I am God, God of your father Abraham and God of your father Isaac, and I will give to you and your seed," we already know what that means, "the land where you're sleeping. And your seed, your people, will be as dust of the earth and spread out in all directions. And through you will all the families on earth be blessed. I'm with you. I will guard you. I will not leave you until I have accomplished what I have promised you." Interestingly, in the Nigun that I started with, Esayanai, talks about Adonai will guard you. You're going and you're coming. The guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. The guarantor, the guardian ship, is given to Jacob, as it says, "I will give you this. This is your promise. This is yours. Your people will spread out over this land. They will be blessed. And this will be your place. I'm not leaving until I accomplish what I have promised. Not until you do what I tell you, but rather until this happens for you, I'm staying around." So Jacob woke up from his sleep saying, "Truly God is in this place, and I didn't know it. This is the house of God. This is the gate of heaven." The next morning, Jacob anointed the memorial stone that he was sleeping on, that he was using for a pillow. Imagine, we complain when we go to hotels that aren't lavish enough for us, about the pillows being terrible and the sheets being hard. But this guy's sleeping on a rock, thinking, wow, this is the best rock I've ever slept on. Anointing that memorial stone with oil, naming this place Beit El, or Bet El, or Bethel, like so many synagogues are named, the place of God. And then Jacob took a vow, made a vow that says, "If God will be with me and will keep me on this path and give me bread to eat and clothing to wear, I will return in peace to the house of my father. Then God shall be God to me. And this memorial stone shall be the house of God, and all that God gave me, I will tithe to God repeatedly, like I will give back." So he continues on his journey beyond waking up from this stone and leaving this place of Bet El to continue on his way. He sees a well in the field, 3 flocks of sheep hanging out around it. There was a rock that was moved from the well. in order to access the water. And Jacob said that he saw men there. There were people. And he asked, do you know Laban? Do you know Lavan? To which they answered, yes, I do. He is well, and his daughters, Rachel, the shepherdess, will soon be coming with her sheep. Just wait here. So Rachel did come with her father's sheep. Jacob saw Rachel, caused the rock to roll from the mouth of the well to the water to water the sheep. Jacob kisses Rachel and then cried. Cried because, well, this wasn't going to work out. He cried because he was happy. This was what he wanted, but this wasn't going to be the way. Jacob told Rachel that he was her kinsman, and she ran and told her father, and Jacob ended up staying there with his uncle and the family for a month. So they make this deal. And this deal is, even though you are my family, even though you are my kinsman, this is the stupidest word, you're not going to stay here. You're going to serve me. It's going to be a deal. Like, you're not just going to freeload here. It's not like the stories we hear about who freeloads on whose ever couch that they can find and they hop from place to place. Lavan was absolutely not into that. He says, even if you're my family, should you serve me without compensation? Like, there's got to be something in it for me. What will your wages be? So now Laban and his two daughters are there. The older one is Leah, and the other one is Rachel. But Jacob loved Rachel. This is who he had sought. This is what he wanted, and said to his uncle, I will serve you for 7 years if I could be with your daughter Rachel. Lavan agreed. Okay, that doesn't sound so bad. So Jacob served for the 7 years, and it felt like nothing. It felt like nothing because he had this deep love, and he knew at the end there was going to be this reward, the reward of Rachel. So he says to his uncle, I completed the 7 years, so now give me my wife. Lavan threw a big feast, and he took his eldest daughter Leah and brought her to Jacob to be ready for the wedding night. But when morning came and Jacob saw it was Leah, he said, what have you done to me? I didn't serve you for Leah. I served you for Rachel. Why would you deceive me like that? And he said, it is not in our tradition, Lavan said, it's not in our tradition to give the younger daughter before the elder. Simply like, you're the oldest, so you get the match first, and it doesn't matter who you really love, but this is who you're getting. He says, complete the wedding week with Leah, and I'll give you Rachel after you work for another 7 years for me. So not only will you marry your first one cousin, but you'll marry the other if you just give me more. It's more like, what can I get? There is what can I get that feels uncomfortable. It's not about what we can get, or in life, our dreams are about what we can get. Like, how can we improve ourselves? How can we be better? So Jacob, if we recap, Jacob leaves his house and his difficult family situation with his brother Esau and the drama of last week's Torah reading, which was, who's getting the birthright blessing. And he has this dream, and he goes on this journey step by step, and it's unfolding for him. And even though he doesn't get what he wants, he's still dreaming about Rachel. He still wants for himself what he didn't get originally. But he doesn't give up. The slow evolution, it's not like, yes, I want Rachel, I'm having Rachel, that's it. You don't give her to me, I'm out. It was, I'm staying here until I get what I want. This slow evolution of what it is reminds us that we can only progress step by step. Jacob shows us that there can be progress on a journey that doesn't have to be start to finish in one snap of the finger. When we try to improve our character, we can't leap quickly, right? We know slow and steady wins the race. The quick way we do things just burns us out. What was that Jacob saw in his dream? It was a ladder. The significance of this ladder, if we look at it from a evolving as a person, slow increments, that our life, the truth is the changing of ourselves and our lives doesn't happen easy, and it goes in small increments, kind of like a ladder. You can't climb to the top of the building unless you hit each rung. Maybe you skip one or two, but there's no teleporting in life. So small ladder-like steps help us or lead us towards large accomplishments over time. If you leap too quickly, you fall down the ladder. To be secure, the ladder needs to lean against something high up. Of course, it's expected that we'll slip back a rung, but that's not where the worry comes, because we can just catch hold of the next rung and start climbing again. For lasting change is never achieved quickly or easily. To reach our goals, we need to keep climbing like Jacob did, one rung after another. The deception of his uncle did not deter him of reaching, getting, accomplishing, achieving, winning what he desired. It is to say, God is in this place and we don't know it. Because if we can't feel it, we don't know it, because that's the kind of people we are. If we can't reach the end of our dream as dreamers, then did we succeed? For many of us, it's no. The answer is no. Until you achieve what it is, but as we know, it's about making the sacred journey. That life is given and life is taken, but really all that matters is how we live our lives. It's about the sacred journey of life itself. When we think about something else, when we think about these stories of Torah, some of them are so bizarre. Some of them leave you thinking like, okay, this can't be, but what is the lesson? More important than, in my perspective, and this does not have to be yours, but more important than anything that the Torah says in black and white, as I've said a million times, is the space between the letters and the words, the paragraphs and the stories. Because in truth, it's the lessons that we're learning. We weren't there. Who knows? The stories seem so far-fetched, some of them. The repetition of things with different details. If we can't find some value, some lesson, then why are we bothering to even read it at all? Taking things at face value won't help us climb the ladder. Diving deeper for deeper understanding and deeper meaning is what helps us become better people, because we've absorbed more knowledge, because we've thought, because we've questioned, because we've had conversation, because we learn together. And that's what we show up here to do. And I'm grateful for you, Elisa and Linda and Bonnie, Jenna, Lita, Bet, Eileen, and those of you that are watching that haven't checked in. There's something to be said about unpacking text. And I'm grateful that we can do this together. We are one human family, one heart of abundant love. We love you. Remember, it's not only about the ladder. It's the steps between the ladder. It's what the ladder is leaning against. It's who's holding the ladder. It's who's climbing the ladder. It's what is at the top of the ladder. It is what is at the bottom of the ladder. It is our ability to move from one spot to another, even if we slip back. We know that there's always going to be some rung to climb. Let's climb together. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Od Avinu Chai. Have a great day, everyone.